Chat. What's going on, guys? Did you miss me? I've been gone for quite a while. And I'm back with some different stuff. A little bit of a different vibe. There's perfect reason why I've been gone for such a long time. Especially after, we started getting into the thick of things. We were starting to do some horror games, all that jazz. But we'll kind of, we'll put that aside for now. We are back, which is great. Happy to be back. We're mixing things up a little bit. Obviously we have a new setup. Now it might look the same. I'm more so talking about the my side of things over on Streamlabs here is a little bit different. Obviously we have cam too. Before we did not do cam. We're doing cam this time. So figured we would do that change because cam is a lot more fun than no cam. So we're doing cam now. On top of the cam, we have a new schedule. We will now be doing 3 days a week. Now this could change. This isn't like a set in stone thing yet. So it might very well change. For the time being though, it's going to be 3 days a week. And there should be uploads on the YouTube channel because we do have a YouTube channel now. You can find that. I will link it probably in a little bit here. Do have a YouTube channel. We'll be uploading clips and segments of the stream over there. I don't know if I'll be uploading full like VODs. We'll see what happens. Probably won't, to be honest. But clips and stuff, yeah, we will throw over there. We also have a brand new Twitter page, believe it or not, which is a little bit of a hassle to get set up, but we managed to get it to work. So I am definitely not complaining about that. Now, keeping, moving aside from that stuff, a lot happened. That's why I've been gone for so long. One, I will say, unfortunately, the streams were fun. I had lots of fun. I don't have the VODs anymore, unfortunately, because they got deleted, which is what happens. But I had fun. I think at the time, the horror game we were going through, it was fun. It was getting a little dry, that game, and we might return to it. Might give it like a second chance and try it again. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what the game was. I'd have to really look back, but and think for a moment. But if it comes to me, I'll mention it. But yeah, we were going through that game, which was fun. But around that time, some work came through, and so I ended up just focusing on work more than the stream side of things, which is completely fine. Unfortunately, one had to kind of take priority. I probably could have worked something out with my schedule to, get both to work, but I am a tad bit on the lazy side, and I'm going to be honest. Hey, that's who I am. So, but we're back. Right now, I am free of everything. And I think with this new schedule, I think even if things do pop up and other things kind of happen, life happens, should be okay to keep going because it's only 3 days a week. Now, in terms of the stream times, like how long we're going to be streaming for, I don't know. That's something that we're going to have to figure out together, and we will figure that out. But we'll see. I'm like today, for example, because it is already 3:30, I do have somewhere to be. I kind of wanted to run this off as like a quick test stream, get this one out the way, help me figure out audio levels and all that boring stuff. We are going to do some stuff today as well. We are going to got some React content. We're hopping back into the React content. alongside the React content, we're also going to be doing, we'll be starting the card sim game. Because I'm not going to lie, I have seen every single person on planet Earth play this fucking game, and I've been really wanting to play it. And I actually thought that would be a very good game to return to streaming, is by playing that game. So we'll ease into that a little bit today. We probably won't get too much done though, because what I wanted to react to today is a little bit on the longer side of things. We will see though. I mean, I could just hop into the game, but I do want to get some React content because I like my React content. So but yeah, that's that's how it is, man. We're changed, got new stuff going on. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be great. But on that note, we are gonna hop right into the React content because I am not trying to waste any of y'all's time. And honestly, I've been waiting to react to this video for a minute. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar. Shout out to Nick Crowley on YouTube. He does the internet's darkest corners. Part 5 came out. Now, Part 5 came out 2 weeks ago. I am behind on this. Okay? So I'm excited to watch this. Love his videos. So we do have that, which we're going to go ahead and watch today. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. Guys, just have to give me a sec because my Streamlabs is nasty, man. My shit is super dirty. Okay. Let's get this background off. All right. This is 35 minutes. We're going to check this out. I've been hyped to watch this, chat. So we're going to see how this goes. Lock in. I don't know what kind of crazy shit's going to be here. Sometimes he puts some wild ass shit in here. So let's just see what we got.
It's 3:16 p.m. on April 10th, 2018. A 911 operator receives a call from 16-year-old Kyle Plush, who had just experienced a freak accident. In the minutes prior to this call, Kyle had just arrived at the Seven Hill School in Cincinnati, Ohio for a tennis match. He had been driving a 2004 Honda Odyssey, a minivan that featured 3 rows of seating, with his gear for the day's match being stored in the very back. In order to retrieve it, Kyle climbed to the back of the vehicle and reached over the 3rd row seating, extending his body as far as it could go.
Okay, that stuff is fun. Why not like just get out the car and grab the stuff? You know what I mean? I guess you wouldn't expect this kind of thing to happen, but like.
Kyle with it. In an instant, he was pinned and completely unable to move, as he was now trapped in the car upside down, not even being able to move his arms and hands enough to grab his cell phone. Though luckily, his phone
I'm surprised he
had
couldn't like
Siri,
shimmy his way, off to the side or
something.
something. Oh shit.
Where are you? Hello? Where are you? I can't hear you.
While on the phone, Kyle couldn't hear anything given how far away he was.
How tight is the space in the back of the van? Like, is there only like a? I mean, I'm guessing based on this, there's only so much space. Oh, I guess I can kind of see. Okay.
Which he made very clear to the
Yeah, I mean, if he got like stuck in that right spot, I can see where he couldn't like shimmy out or something.
Hello?
Less than 1 minute later, the call would cut out. In the recording, Kyle clearly portrayed.
Chat, don't vans or don't like cars in general, or I might be dumb as fuck for saying this, but don't cars have like an emergency latch or something on the inside of the car that you can like open the trunk up in case of maybe not something like this, but like emergency? I might be tripping. I ain't a car guy. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just assuming that would be something, they would put in just in case, maybe not this type of situation, but
to
I
the
don't know.
operator where he
I'm guessing
was,
not,
but
though,
he
because if
couldn't
there
hear
was,
her,
I'm sure
and
he
that
would be able to,
was
you know, pull
danger,
it and
which prompted her
get
to
out.
immediately send a patrol car over to the school in search of him, though inexplicably, she never told the officers that Kyle believed he was going to die.
Oh. Why not? Why would you leave out like the most important detail
Not
of like
understanding how dire the situation was, the officers
and the
that pulled
officers
up to
gonna
the
be
scene
loafing
didn't even
around
bother to stop
the,
car.
you know, the parking
Instead,
lot. They ain't gonna
simply
give a
drove
fuck
throughout the
because
parking lot,
she didn't say
unsure
the
of
most
what
important
car was
thing.
Kyle's. They didn't even bother to turn down their music or crack a window.
This ain't even the cops' fault either. This is nothing to do with the cops because
Seemingly
they
being more
didn't
interested in the
get the
types of
right,
cars that other
like,
students were
they weren't
driving.
informed correctly on the situation. Like, man.
As officers continued their half-hearted search, another phone call would be made to 911. It was Kyle, whose tone was now drastically different.
I probably don't have much time left.
Jesus, man.
Tell my mom
That's so
I
fucked.
love her if I die. This is not a joke.
After Kyle says his goodbyes, he tries one more time to relay what was happening, this time providing the parking lot he was in along with the exact make and model of his car.
This is not a joke. I'm trapped inside my gold Honda Odyssey van in the software parking lot of Seven Hills Beth. Send officers immediately. I'm almost dead.
At this point, officers were still in the
Jeez.
parking lot looking for him. Help was literally just a few feet away, and on top of this, the operator was also able to get a ping from Kyle's phone, which gave coordinates to his exact location within just 5 to 10 feet.
Chad, they probably would have already found him if the operator told like the officers, like, you know, homie's like, you know, in a dire situation, like he thinks he's gonna die. Like, maybe not, I could be tripping, but I'm just saying, probably should have informed the cops correctly on the situation so that they actually could have, you know, like put more effort into searching. But the cops are like, they're chilling. They're like, ah, all right, well, you know, ain't no rush, so we could just vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Of his vehicle. And yet, the dispatcher never
He's like
passed this
so
information
calm,
along.
this kid, despite the fact that he's
As
like
Kyle
literally
remained
dying
online for
in the back of a
hours
car
later,
stuck. Like,
The officers on the scene would pull out of the parking lot, close their report, and carry on with their day, stating,
they left.
"I don't see nobody," which I didn't imagine I would. With this line making it apparent that those involved with the case never actually believed this situation was real. And
Jesus.
instead, viewed it all as a hoax.
You gotta be kidding me.
Just minutes later, Kyle would go quiet, and the phone would disconnect for a final time. It would take 6 hours for that trunk to be
Oof.
opened, and not by the police, but instead by Kyle's father.
Oh
who had
my
no
God,
idea
it's
that any of this had
fucked,
taken
man.
place, seeking out his son's vehicle only to find Kyle flipped upside down in the trunk.
Jesus.
He had been dead for hours. Despite the circumstances, Kyle did everything right.
Chad,
He
that's
remained
such
calm,
a,
he
but
was
you know,
respectful,
it's
and he
the, I
described
think it's the
exactly where he
operator's
was
fault,
and what his
right?
car
Like, it
looked
has to
like.
be just the
And
operator,
yet,
because it's
police
not the
never really
cops'
bothered to
fault.
take
They
this
have no
case
idea what's going
seriously,
on.
instead believing
Right,
that
like
this
they
was
weren't
all
informed
just a
correctly on the
prank. And
situation.
had the dispatcher
So,
simply relayed how serious
like
the
100%,
situation was,
the
and had these
operator should get
officers just
fucking
gotten out of
fired
their
or
cars and
even
looked more thoroughly, Kyle Plush most
something,
likely would have
charged with
survived.
something, because there's no way, right? Like,
As a result of the mishandling of Kyle's
Okay.
case, his parents, Jill and Ron, were
A $6
awarded
million
a $6 million
settlement.
settlement with the city of Cincinnati. Though even more importantly for the
So
couple,
fucked,
they
man.
vowed to do their part to assure that mishandled 911 calls of this nature never happen again, as they've gone on to consult with various emergency call centers to tell Kyle's story, somehow taking this horrible accident and selflessly turning it into something positive for the rest of society. Today, these phone calls remain relics of a grave error made by law enforcement, and a life that never should have been lost, with these recordings now being forever immortalized in the internet's darkest corners.
yeah, it's so fucked, man. Like, and the thing is, like, I think like a lot of people say like L cops and shit like that, but like the cops don't know like what's going on, right? Like the operator and that one operator or whatever, like they got to be relaying that to the cops, and that, you know, 911 operator, she's chilling. She's like, all right, let me not tell the cops that this person that's calling in thinks they're gonna like die, and not really provide the right information so that the officers can actually go and know what they're dealing with, so they can actually pick it up instead of just be loafing around like, oh, all right, well, this ain't that big of a deal. That's fucked though, man. That's so fucked. That's what I said though about like the latch in the van, man, or cars in general. They really got to put like a little emergency latch or something in there. Like, this is obviously a rare case scenario, but I feel like there could be a numerous amount of cases where that kind of like emergency like latch or something can come in handy.
April 4th, 2020. A man living in Baltimore, Maryland goes live on his Facebook page announcing that tonight would be another one of his famous game nights. At this time, the COVID lockdown was
game night
across the United
what y'all
States,
playing?
and practically everyone was cooped up indoors.
Fuck y'all playing?
With little opportunity for real socialization. But for 24-year-old Ernest Wilson and his friends, this didn't stop them from
Ernest is
having a good time.
posted up in that pic,
Ernest
man.
often hosted parties featuring childhood games like Monopoly and Uno, adding in his adult
Oh,
flair by
chat.
playing drinking games.
Dude, I haven't played Monopoly in a long ass time, and they got one on Steam, right? Where you can like match or some shit. Same thing with Uno, right? Oh man. We gotta do some shit like that, man. Y'all play with the viewers and shit, run like a Monopoly game or something, that go
With
fucking
one game
crazy.
in particular being top of mind that night. Hide and seek. The evening began with
Hide and
Ernest
seek is
inviting his
crazy.
Facebook friends to the function.
That's
letting them know
wild.
that this time the game night would be held at an Airbnb rather than in his home, though he never gave out the address, as this was a closed invitation event, which he made very clear on his page. Please don't show up with nobody I didn't personally invite if we didn't discuss it first. They're going to get left outside. Ernest took this so seriously that at one point he even called out one of his viewers, stating outright that they were not allowed to show up under any circumstances.
You're not invited. You're not pulling up on me. The person who just joined. If you're still watching, you're not invited. Because you don't fucking listen, and I'm gonna bang you in your mouth next time.
However, it was never revealed who exactly this person was, or why Ernest
Hey,
expressed
y'all heard him.
such
Don't show
hostility
up. Don't
towards
show up to
them.
the hide and seek night.
From there,
Unless you
Ernest would
invited.
start and stop his live stream a few different times, showing the progression of the party, which ended up with a decent turnout. And by 2 a.m., with there being no signs of slowing down, it was time for the main event. About to play hide and seek. This was the caption for Ernest's final live stream of the night, which shows his group of friends preparing to play the game, turning off all the lights in the house before Ernest himself steps outside, assuming the role of the seeker, beginning his countdown as the camera keeps rolling.
Yeah, dude, I don't think I've played like hide and seek since I was like a little kid, man.
1, 2,
I ain't gonna lie though, man, that shit could be fun as fuck, hide and seek. Kind of depends on who you playing with though.
6,
I feel like that game can sour up real quick.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can hear y'all. 14, 15. I can see y'all. 16, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Because I'm tired of fucking counting.
Man, you gotta count the whole way, man.
After a long 30 seconds,
What you talk
it was time
about?
to find his friends, with Ernest starting his search inside the home.
Ain't nobody in this bathroom. I didn't think about it. Fuck. Oh, alright. His ass.
Until he notices something.
Next time they on y'all ass. Down here. The front door locked. Dumbass. I'm on your ass.
According to Ernest, someone was trying to get in through the front door, unaware that he had just locked it. And assuming that this was one of the people he was looking for, he took off to the backyard, believing that's where
Dude,
he would
what
find
is
them.
this
And
quality,
sure
man?
enough,
I can't tell what the hell is going on.
1, 2, 3. Who the f is that, G? I don't know. Get your dumb ass on the other side of this gate. Who the fuck?
Oh,
Ernest flips the camera around, revealing a man, hopping over a gate to the backyard. He had no idea who this person was, but he seemed to assume that they were likely just trying to get into the party, not really taking it too seriously, hence his joking attitude. Though his attitude would soon shift drastically.
Dumbass nigga. This can't be one of my friends. Fuck on the ground. Hey, Pride! Flash it up!
In this moment, Ernest's live stream cuts off, and he would never go live again.
Oh no, man.
According to those at the party, this
Not the
unknown
hide
man
and seek,
hopped the fence
man.
and brandished a gun, stating that
It's
he was
game
there to
night,
rob the
man.
place, being followed by one other person whom the group also failed to recognize. Ernest tried his best to run, but was eventually caught in the house, where after a few minutes, and for reasons unknown, the man seen hopping the fence fired his weapon,
Oh,
striking
shit.
Ernest twice and ending his life. The killers quickly fled the scene without harming anyone else, or seemingly without even taking anything. The footage is highly disturbing, knowing that we're witnessing the final moments of a man who was just having some fun with his friends. But what makes this so much darker is that we have no idea who this person is, or why they did what they did. Even after 4.5 years, Ernest Wilson's killers have yet to be identified. Detectives working on the case have theorized that this was likely a robbery gone wrong, potentially spurred on by Ernest's posting habits, as to put it bluntly, he was a drug dealer, as on his Facebook page he often showed off huge amounts of his product, including during a live
Okay,
stream
well,
he
I
did
can
on the
see-
very day of this party. And
Oof.
also on the same day, Ernest had made a post about how
I can
much
see
cash
where
he had
that can
on
get him in
essentially
some
putting the
trouble.
target on his back.
Things
Online,
might start,
some theorize
starting
that
to
this
line up a
botched
little
robbery
bit,
may have been
possibly.
committed by the person that entered Ernest's live stream earlier that night, which caused him to have that intense reaction.
You're not invited. You're not
Oh,
putting
true,
up
could
on me
be.
because you don't fucking listen.
Chat, what y'all think?
Though to my knowledge,
Y'all think
this
that
person has never
it was
actually
that
been
dude?
tracked down.
From the
But
live
by
stream?
far the most common sentiment online
I would say probably
is
not.
that Ernest's friends were involved to some capacity. As
Well,
none of
honestly,
them
ain't
were
that far of a
injured and none
stretch,
their
though.
Possessions were taken, making it clear that at the very least, this crime was targeted at the host. And on top of this, remember, Ernest
Oh,
never
y'all think it
shared
was one of his
the address for
friends?
Airbnb, at least not publicly. And yet, these people
It
just
could
so
have been,
happened to show up to the
especially if,
home
like,
at
no
the
one else
exact
got- well,
moments that Ernest was by himself in the dark.
I don't know, that could be
And
like kind of
perhaps most
easily.
chillingly, as the robbery is unfolding, you can hear one of Ernest's friends chuckling in the background.
This can't be one of my friends. Fuck on the ground.
Though as concerning as this is, it's sadly far from conclusive, and to this day it appears that Ernest's case is slowly being lost to time, leaving us for now with only questions, and one of the more disturbing live streams I've ever seen.
And now these messages.
Before we dive into our next case, I want to first thank today's video sponsor.
What y'all think, chat?
I'll admit
Y'all think it was
I
the
have a really
friends?
bad habit when it comes to ordering food. I usually don't give myself enough time to plan meals for the week, and therefore, when it comes time for dinner,
We
I'm always
watching
scrambling
the
trying to
sponsor. I'll
cook,
watch the
which
sponsor.
usually
Fuck
leads
it.
to me ordering food and ordering really unhealthy food too. It's a bad habit, but thanks to Factor, I'm slowly starting to kick it. Factor provides chef-prepared, ready-to-eat meals that are always fresh and never frozen. There's no stress.
Chat, y'all
there's
ever
no
try
prep
anything
work,
like
just
this?
2 minutes in the microwave and they're ready to go. And
Like,
these
I've gotten
meals really
microwave
are
meals from, like, the store and shit, but I ain't
and
never
more
do, like-
delicious than what I was ordering
like
before
this, like
anyway.
this
Not
shit.
to mention way healthier. But my favorite thing about Factor is the time I get back, as I'm not wasting my time and taking half an hour. To
I
figure
mean,
out
it,
what I
you
want
know,
to
it
eat.
look,
It's
it look
all ready
alright.
for me and
For, I
ready.
mean, it's a what?
You
It's a
just
heat
have
up
to pick how many
meal.
meals you want,
Chat,
and
it
just
ain't,
like
it
that,
ain't nothing
have
special.
most, if not all of your meals
It looked
planned
good
for the
though.
entire week.
Don't look
And you can
bad.
even pause or reschedule your deliveries at
But how
any
much
time
that shit
in the
cost
process.
though?
And what's
You know
really
what I'm
cool is
saying?
Factor is now owned by
Like
HelloFresh,
I
which
could
just
go
so
to the
happens be
store
one of
and
my
buy a
favorite
couple heat up
sponsors
meals
of
for
all time.
like
And now that I'm eating
a
real
few
food,
bucks.
I'm excited to get back to cooking at some point with HelloFresh too. So definitely
But I guess
try
this
either one of
stuff's,
these
I'm
out or
assuming,
both, depending on what your
fresh
situation is. If you want to try out Factor,
compared
head
to probably some of them heat up
factorseventy5.com
meals,
or
but
click the link in the description and use code NickCrowley50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code
50%
NickCrowley50 at
off. That's not bad,
factorseventy5.com
man.
to get 50% off your first
All right,
box
Nick,
and
I see
20%
you.
off your next month of orders.
50% off, eh?
As evidenced by the previous case and several others discussed throughout the series, live streams are often a hotbed for disturbing moments online. And when researching Ernest's final stream, I came across yet another example of just how dark things can get when the cameras go live.
Chapter
It happened
3,
on
chat.
January
See what we
22nd,
got.
2017, when a 14-year-old girl named Naika Venant went on Facebook Live with a caption.
Oh no.
In the stream, Naika discussed how difficult life had been. Throughout the years, she had been placed in and out of countless foster homes, where her treatment ranged from poor to straight up abusive, with this constant mistreatment leading her to just want it to be over already. And based on the title of the stream,
Chat, no like disrespect, but like he said 14. I'm getting like a couple different ages here, like 14, maybe in like the one shot. You could you could tell me she's like 25, maybe, and I would believe you. Like what's going on here?
it was clear what her intentions were going to
I'm
be.
sorry, I'm so stupid,
As the
man.
live stream progressed, hundreds of
Nah,
people
see,
flooded into the
I'm.
video to see what exactly was going
That's
on.
crazy.
As word quickly spread that something horrible was about to happen, though you wouldn't know it by looking at the chat. According to many watching, those in the comments had no sympathy for the girl, as many actually mocked her, calling her names, and even commented laughing emojis, as she desperately tried to open up, with those same commenters viewing this not as a cry for help, but as a cry for attention, outright pushing her to carry on with these intentions.
I mean, it's the internet,
And
though.
tragically,
Like,
she
it
did,
sucks. Like, that's
all while the
terrible.
camera
But like,
remained rolling.
I mean, it's the internet,
However,
man.
even
People are gonna
after
do
she
that shit
followed
on the
through with
reg.
the behavior of her chats
People don't
didn't
give a
stop.
fuck out here,
Whether they
man.
assumed it was fake or just didn't care either way, the hateful barrage of insults actually got even more vile once she had obviously passed away. And this went past just words, as people who knew her actually began making parody videos of the girl, replicating the position she was dead in, all while her live
Oh,
stream kept
nah,
on
man.
going. It would take over an hour before police would finally be called and retrieve her body, with the stream being shut down by Facebook shortly before. It was an awful situation all around, but what I found most saddening about this was her final reason for doing what she did, as she stated simply that she just wanted to be with her real mother, who she loved so dearly. And this was something that seemed to be the plan all along, as her mother, Gina Alexis, claimed that she too desperately wanted to be reunited with her daughter. And following her daughter's highly publicized death, Gina actually came forward at a news conference to discuss the tragedy.
Her biological mother broke down while speaking about her daughter's death. She dreamed of
That's
one day
fucked.
being reunited permanently.
I have trusted
What got them separated though?
to care people to care for my
Why were they separated in the
First,
first
she blamed
place?
the entire foster care system for
Oh,
everything
foster
that
care.
happened, believing that they didn't do a good enough job of keeping her daughter safe, and they failed to try and reunite her with Naika. Because of the obvious emotion involved and the overall shocking nature of this case, the news report would quickly go viral, leading to widespread support for the grieving mother. However, this also caused some people to look a bit deeper into what exactly led up to this livestream, for which one piece of information was brought to light that somehow made this case even more upsetting. On the day that Naika's life came to an end, it was revealed that her mother was actually in the stream watching before and
Oh,
after it
no.
happened, seeing her own daughter having this mental breakdown.
She was in the stream
as
the
well
whole
as seeing
time?
all those people in the chat mocking her, which made people feel even more sorry for Gina, as her plight was...
Oh man, that's fucked, dude. Imagine.
Though this wasn't the only
Imagine you
revelation
like.
to come forward,
Oh nah, I
as
don't
it
even
was soon
wanna.
realized by the investigators looking into Naika's case that Gina had not only witnessed all of these people laughing at her daughter and egging her into ending her life, but she had also joined them as well.
Chat. Did I hear that correctly? Let's go back. I'm sorry. Let me hear that again.
Joined them and egging her into ending her life, but she had also joined them as well.
Chat, come on, man. Really? Really? Moms joined in? Moms joined in? With the rest of the crowd? Telling her to do that shit? That's fucked. What? Oh, man. Oh, it's so that's so fucked, man. Let me hear one more. Let's see.
Hashtag ADHD games played. You sad little DCF custody. That's why you are.
What?
Hashtag ADHD.
ADHD games played? You sad little DCF custody jit? Chat, I might be like, what is that? What is DCF? I don't even know. Let's not look into this too deep, but that's crazy. Little DCF custody jit? You calling your own daughter that?
Games played. You sad little DCF custody. That's why you are where you're at. For this dumb shit and more, you keep crying wolf. You
Oh,
go,
no.
people get buried, life goes on.
That's
After a
wild.
kid that doesn't listen to their parents, trying to be grown.
A jit, right? We calling your daughter a jit, dude. Like, what the
In a
fuck?
live stream where one of the last things
That's
Naika
so
ever
fucked.
said was that she desperately wanted to be reunited with her mother. That same mother was not only watching, but actively pushing her to follow through on her plans, leaving this comment where she outright says
Nah,
that it
mom's
doesn't matter if you
is
live or
beyond
die,
fucked. Like,
life
that's
goes on.
crazy. That's
And
nasty
it's not
work.
even worse. The media also discovered that the reason Naika had been removed from her custody to begin with was because Gina had beaten her 30 plus times with a belt. when
Oh
she
my
was only
god. 30, just 5 months, 6, was beaten so badly with a belt that she had 30 marks on her arms, legs, and back. The cause of the beating, according to DCF, was that Naika was discovered engaging in a sexual act at a male babysitter's house. What? Chat, what is going... Oh my god, man.
6 years old.
What
On
the
top of this,
fuck?
Gina often texted Naika saying that she wanted nothing to do with her, despite the young girl frequently reaching out and begging to be part of her life. Eventually, Gina would tell Naika's caseworker that the girl is y'all's problem, I'm done with the games, before sending Naika middle finger emojis when all she did was ask to see her brother. And this is all amongst other things that are far more horrendous that I really don't want to get into. And yet, after Naika's death, Gina had
Wait,
the
wait.
audacity
What did that say?
don't want to get into.
The incident led to Naika's first entry into foster care, and over the course of her life, 2 intakes. It would be determined that Naika was... Oh.
Amongst other things that
Hold
are
on.
far more
Oh, okay.
horrendous.
Oh.
That I really don't want to
Okay.
get into.
Wow, alright.
And yet, after Naika's death, Gina had the audacity to go on television in an attempt to garner sympathy for a death that she clearly contributed to, saying that all she wanted was to be the girl's mother, despite rejecting her at every turn. And honestly, this is where I thought this entire story would come to an end, until I noticed something strange when I was editing this video. Naika's Facebook page is still active. It's no longer posting anything original, but instead, the account is consistently reposting content from another page, a page run by Gina. After Naika's
Man,
death, Gina seemingly seized control of the
You
young girl's
telling
Facebook
me
account,
that you running
where she
your
now posts
dead
her own
daughter's
content, which includes her attempting to
Facebook
defend the fact that
page?
she gave up on Naika.
Tell me what
and reposting yo shit content, man?
13,
Whatever
going on
content she even
14
does.
in and out of detention centers, going to jail or getting arrested while in foster care.
As well as her responding to those who blamed her for her daughter's death.
People be like, you heard the rumors going around about you? And I did. But they forgot to tell you one thing. That I don't give a fuck. Huh? What's my name? My first name is Very Much. My last name is Unbothered.
And even some posts where
Man,
she's
what
promoting
the
her
fuck, dude?
podcast, as it seems that after all this, Gina's actually trying to
Oh,
carve out
nah,
some
you
sort
ain't
of
launching
career
no
as an influencer,
podcast.
as she
What?
posts videos
What y'all
garnering
yapping about in the
sympathy for loss of her
podcast?
daughter, along with giving out parenting advice.
Oh
Like,
no.
there's so much stuff that parents need to do
Chat.
for their child.
Chat. Y'all taking this parenting advice? Is this W parenting advice? I don't know. Let's listen. Let's see. What she got? Let's see.
That they're not motherfucking doing. They're not paying attention because they're taking the easy way out.
Okay.
With all this making
Easy
it
way
even
out,
more
eh?
obvious
Huh?
that Gina has little to no remorse.
Y'all
for
think
what
she's
she did.
qualified to give advice? I'm gonna say probably not. Damn.
On the 11th of June,
That's fucked, man. That is so fucked. And there's like so many layers to that, and it just gets like more and it gets worse and worse as you keep going. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck,
2009,
man?
A young man named Eugene Latta took to an urban exploration forum and wrote in broken English, "Hello, I'd like to tell you about Odessa catacombs. Odessa is not far from the capital of Ukraine, Kiev. Under Odessa consists the biggest catacombs in the world.
Oh,
Their total
shit.
length is more than 2,500 kilometers, so these catacombs are much bigger than
Fucking
the Paris
catacombs, a little
During
exploration
World War
action.
II, a lot of citizens were hiding in the catacombs. A lot of them used to live there for a year and more, so even today it is possible to find weapons, equipment, and even dead bodies. Every year a lot of explorers get lost and even die there. His post was accompanied by a series of photographs from the underground labyrinth, which stretched
Jesus.
over 1,500 miles, its paths winding aimlessly deep below the surface of the Earth. The structure was mainly the result of limestone mining many years ago, though despite this, it was never properly mapped, and was, conversely, not often explored, essentially being a pitch-black maze to nowhere. Given that the area wasn't well known back in '09, the post was met with a
Chat, y'all ever watch them like exploration videos? Them like abandoned exploration videos? Dude, I could watch them shits for hours, man. We're gonna have to watch some of them shits.
amazement. Fellow urban explorers applauded the location and the photographs that Lata had taken, wanting to see even more, and since he was a native of the area, Lata delivered. Thanks to all. If you want, I can add more photos. As I said earlier, a lot of people get lost and even die under Odessa. Maybe this photo will shock you.
Oh.
It's the dead body of a 19-year-old girl who had gotten lost in the maze. Though it's censored here, the image shows three young boys staring blankly at
Why are we posted up like that?
the
Okay.
camera as they stand behind
Sure.
a badly decomposed body. Understand
Why is gang posted up like that?
as other users began to press for more information. And sure enough, it was a story that Lata knew well.
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, everybody! Happy
Hey, 2005. Let's
It
go.
was New Year's Eve, the final
What a
day of
what a
2004,
W year, man.
and a
I was
group of
5 years
teenagers made
old.
their way down into the catacombs to begin their celebration. This wasn't super uncommon at the time, as many of the entrances to this labyrinth were very easily accessible. This one in particular just so happened to be located directly next to the public school, School 56, and had just been left wide open, making it the perfect place for friends to sneak a few drinks. As the group began to grow more intoxicated, one of the girls wandered off in search of a place to relieve herself. However, she apparently took one too many turns and soon found herself completely alone. She cried out, but the tunnels were just
Oh
too
no,
complicated.
man.
Each step she took led her more and more into obscurity. Her friends tried to find her.
Chad, I'm sorry, but if you're like going in these things, like not like listen, all respects to her, you know, God rest her soul and shit. But like if you're like pulling up in these places, like come on, like for real, is it worth, you know, like sneaking a couple drinks in that place? Nah, like it ain't worth. Like that's dumb. Y'all are stupid as fuck for going in that shit. Like hell no,
Or
man.
maybe they didn't. We really don't know.
You're gonna
In
catch
their
me
drunken
going in there
state,
for
they left the
nothing.
tunnels
I don't care if
without
$1 million
their
is sitting at
and
the
never
entrance,
went back
man.
to
Well,
find her.
okay, maybe at the entrance, but like,
If she did have a
you know what I'm
flashlight,
saying.
it wouldn't have lasted long, and for days she likely wandered deliriously through that pitch black maze.
Man, that's
until
fucked, bro. It's
after
like
what was
pitch
likely
black
at
and shit
least
too.
3
Like,
awful days, she passed away, with her body being found approximately 3 miles away from the nearest exit. In looking at one of the only attempted maps of this tunnel system, she never survived.
Jesus, oh my god. How do you even read this map? Like, how, like this is like impossible. Like, there's no way. You're like you're pulling out your map and you're looking at this. Like, what? Well, I will say this though, right? Like, you could probably navigate this place possibly if you could like tie a rope, like get a super like long ass fucking rope and just like tie that shit to you and have someone like stand at the entrance and then just like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you need like let's say you need to retrieve like a dead body or some shit, it's like, oh, we don't want to get lost. Okay, like tie the rope at the start and literally just walk. And like you ain't ever gonna have to worry about getting fucking lost because you got the fucking rope attached to the person or whatever the fuck on the at the entrance, you know what I'm saying? Or they could like probably do some like color coding or I don't even know, man.
Perhaps it was dehydration or hypothermia that killed her. But according to some, based on the photo, the corpse appears to have its skull caved in, implying that in a desperate attempt to end her anguish, she may have bashed her head against the wall. until she
Dude, that's
passed
so
away.
fucked, man.
Her name was Masha, and she was only 19 years old.
That's so fucked.
3 long months later, in April of 2005, Lata and his group would stumble across the body, immediately reporting their findings to the police, though law enforcement refused to even try and venture down there in order to retrieve her, as they knew just how dangerous and unmapped this environment was. It would take 2 long years for her body to be recovered, thanks to a friend of Lata writing a strongly worded letter to the government that included a photo of Masha's body. The story is unimaginable. To be trapped in a place like this with no means of escaping, it has to be the absolute worst way to go.
Oh, it's terrible.
The nature of the story and the
And no
photograph,
light
it's
too,
spread
chat.
all
She's
throughout
in
the
like
online world,
complete
where it
darkness.
became
Like,
a legendary internet mystery, as even with the added context, many were still left with pressing questions. Were Masha's friends involved in some way with her death? Had they abandoned her there on purpose? And did Lata know more than he claimed? But as it turns out, there was one far more pressing question that needed to be answered. In 2015, a full decade after this photo was taken, a journalist named Mike Pearl had picked up the case with the hopes of writing a Halloween article for Vice. And in his research, he made a rather unusual discovery, as according to him, Masha seemingly didn't exist. Pearl was never able to find any verifiable proof that a girl named Masha had ever gone missing in that area.
did Homie make this shit up? Well, I mean, they found a body. I mean, I don't know because we can't see the fucking picture, but
He was also
that's
not able
crazy
to
if that's
find any
made up,
death
man.
records of anyone by that name either, or even any reports of a body being pulled from the catacombs during this time frame. Something just wasn't adding up, and it got stranger from here. Sometime after the photograph began making its rounds, one of the most prominent explorers of the Odessa catacombs put out a statement on his own website in regards to Masha, which read, "Besides the original photographer, there isn't one person, civilian or law enforcement, that can confirm the story. We believe it is just a practical joke and the corpse is fake."
Y'all think that shit's fake? Yo, Rash. What's good, buddy? What's good, baby? What you doing, man?
Following this revelation, Pearl was able to track down
bet,
who was unable to recount where the
I'm
body
looking
was
good today,
roughly
man. I'm
seen,
feeling
or
myself,
even
you know what
how
I'm
to get in
saying?
touch with the other people shown in this photo.
It's all over the place.
None of whom had ever come forward to back his testimony, which makes the credibility of Lata and his story of Masha incredibly shaky at best. However, this is where the crux of the
What y'all doing? What y'all saying right now?
When looking at these photos, one thing is apparent to me and essentially everyone else who has seen them. The corpse shown seems very real. It matches the decay of the bodies found in similar
Dead by Daylight.
One prominent Odessa explorer eventually deleted
Dead by
his
Daylight
statement
and
at
stroking
some
it? You
point
stroking
within
it on
weeks,
Dead by
leaving a
Daylight,
general
or
consensus that this is in fact
you
a
just,
real
you know,
corpse. But if the story of
you
Masha
taking a little
isn't
break from
true,
Dead by Daylight and
then
stroking it?
who is this?
To my stream, I bet.
Well, we have
Bet.
no idea. It's entirely
I'm
a
glad.
mystery. But the reality of the situation is that bodies being found down in these catacombs isn't totally uncommon. Over the years, many explorers have gotten lost down there and suffered the
Yo, I
exact
got the
same fate
turtleneck
as
out
the
today,
story
man.
of
I
Masha.
dressed nice
But
and
on top of
fancy
this,
today. I
these
told
tunnels
you.
have also been used by
I'm feeling
murderers
myself today.
as a dumping ground for their victims' bodies, with either one of these scenarios being possible in this case. Though the frustrating part is that we may never actually know who this person was.
It's cold as
or how
fuck.
they died.
In here,
As
by the
I
way,
and
it's
many
fucking
others have
freezing.
doubts that this body was ever actually recovered, just simply due to lack of public information and news reports about it. And instead, the reality is that this corpse is probably still down there somewhere, and has simply been lost to time, as sections of the catacombs have been known to flood and cave in, sealing them off from the outside world forever. So for now, and potentially the rest of time, the story of Masha will remain in.
Honestly, I don't even care about Masha. I want to know what is going on with these two, man. This guy, whatever, like, he looks kind of normal, you know what I'm saying? Like, he looked like he ready to explore. What the fuck is going on here? What y'all think is happening here? What a ragtag fucking team, man. What a ragtag fucking team. Alright, what do we got next? Chapter 5?
It's September 1985. A hunter trudges through the wooded terrain of Christie Creek, Montana, on the trail of something big. He had been hunting a large black bear and managed to land a single shot, causing the animal to take off, leaving behind a trail of blood. He followed this trail all throughout the remote region before stumbling across a shallow ditch, where he would find a body. Though not the body of the bear he had just shot, and rather, the body of a woman. reduced to bone. The remains were quickly sent off for forensic analysis, though very little could be determined other than the fact that she was a young woman, and that she had been murdered, as they found 2 bullet holes in her skull. With there being essentially no other information to go off of, a special team at the FBI started creating a composite of what this woman may have looked like. This was the result.
Yo! What y'all thinking about this? That's wild. What is this, man? Ain't no one looking like this. Who they got? Who they got putting this together? Who they got putting this shit together?
This was their first attempt at depicting
That's
Jane Doe,
that's
who
creepy.
they would later dub Christie Crystal Creek, though it wouldn't be their last.
Ooh.
Uncanniness of these
Oh, that one's even worse. No, is that one worse? Or is that one better than the other one? Dude, that's so creepy, dude. What the fuck is that?
is undeniable. And recently, I've fallen down this.
Now I
rabbit
want to
hole
know
of
what the
disturbingly
person
deep
actually
sketches
looks
and
like if
recreations.
that's
As though
accurate
these
or
can
not.
often be very helpful,
You know, like
they
how
do lead
close
to
they were.
legitimately good results. There are often times where they appear almost non-human, with many examples like Christie's being shared online on the FBI's website in order to enlist the public's help in identifying these victims, with one of the more notorious examples coming decades later in 2014. The discovery was made on June 5th of that year, when a group of highway workers were mowing grass in the town of Geneva, Wisconsin, when they noticed a pair of strange-smelling suitcases. Inside them were 2 bodies belonging to 2 women, both in various stages of decomposition, and both appearing to have been strangled to death. One would quickly be identified as 37-year-old Laura Simonson, while the other was in much worse shape, and distinguishing her facial features proved extremely difficult. But this didn't stop them from trying.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh no. What is that, man? Like, no disrespect. I don't mean no disrespect or nothing, but damn.
This is one of the more infamous examples out there due to just how unnatural it appears, with the face of this woman being turned into a meme and even being used in a
Man. Who the fuck put girl in a game, man? What is this game? Should we play this game? Y'all think we should find this game and play it? What do y'all think? That's crazy.
video game.
That shit look goofy as fuck though. Like what?
But to me, there's one example that I've never been able to shake, as the entire story and its recreation gives me such an uneasy feeling. The discovery was made all the way back in April of 1977, when a couple in Alberta, Canada had returned to their often abandoned cabin in order to empty the septic tank, only to find a body floating inside.
Oh.
The body was in brutal shape and showed signs of extreme torture, as the man had been beaten, mutilated, burned with cigarettes, and even shot multiple times.
Oh.
And due to the condition of the body, it was impossible to identify him, though regardless, a recreation was made, and using a computer model of the man's skull, they slowly pieced him together.
Man, what the? I'm sorry, that's I just be. Oh, okay. Homie, look. He look at least a little bit. Oh, okay.
He would later be dubbed Septic Tank Sam.
What? Septic Tank Sam. Yo, who is doing the like? Okay, the one like the creation of these things is like bad enough. Who the hell is doing the names, man? How you gonna do bro like that? Septic Tank Sam. That's
something
crazy.
So depressing about these composites, as these are real people with real stories and real names that have been reduced to these horrifying images and tacky nicknames. But there's another side of these police sketches too, as when dealing with victims, it's obviously incredibly sad. But when dealing with suspects, these off-putting identities can be outright horrifying. Over the years, there's been numerous unidentified killers who law enforcement were not able to positively identify, forcing them to turn to these same methods of sketching and recreating, with one of the darkest examples being that of the Lake Bodom killer. It was June 5th, 1960. 4 Finnish teenagers were on a camping trip to Lake Bodom, sleeping peacefully in their tent on the lakeshore, when suddenly they were attacked. It happened in an instant as a man wielding a knife began stabbing through the tent, eventually bludgeoning the group with an unidentified blunt object.
Man.
That night, 3 of the teens would be killed, while one managed to survive with substantial injuries. When asked about what he had seen that night, the lone survivor claimed that the man who attacked them wore all black and had large...
Chat, low key, like, I'm low key paranoid as fuck, right? And like, you can call me a bitch. Like, I like to camp. You know, I've been camping a few times, but like, I ain't gonna lie though. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I be camping and shit, like in the back of my head, like that shit, you know, gets me a little fucked up because I'm like, yo, someone low key could pull up in these woods right now and fuck me up. Like, you don't know who the hell's crawling around in the woods or, you know, some fucking shit like that, man.
red eyes. Based on his accounts and other potential sightings, a sketch of what this man may have looked like was made, and the results were unusual at best.
Bro, what?
With this man going on to garner the appropriate nickname of Bug Eyes McLip due to just how unnatural
Bug Eyes McLip?
Especially his eyes.
Dude.
In fact, there's something
y'all think the guy that makes these is also doing the names, or y'all think they got a separate jit to do the names?
Out of these 4 people, 3 have been identified. Christy Crystal Creek would go on
There's
to be
no way.
identified as Janet Lee Lucas.
Okay, alright, okay, let's see. How close, this is not going to be close at all, but let's see.
Christy Crystal
Alright, keep this in mind.
Creek would go on to be identified as Janet Lee.
Chat, there's no way. Okay, is this the first one? I mean, nah, man, that's crazy. Like, I mean, I guess I can see it, like, the hair, no, because the hair, I don't know, man. I don't know, whoever, like, if someone actually found this person off of that, like, shitty whatever the fuck, that's crazy. Like, hats off to that guy. Or girl, whoever did it.
Victim of serial killer Wayne Nance, with this identification being the result of improved forensic genealogy. The second and most notorious example would go on to be identified as Jenny Gomez.
What? No, I can't go. I can't. Okay, hold on. Okay, chat, get a good look at this. All right, to be fair, apparently her shit was super fucked. So if they were trying their best, dude, how, bro? How? I mean, nah, man, I don't.
Despite this recreation appearing to look nothing like Jenny, it was actually the sole reason that she was identified, as one of her family members ended up recognizing these overpronounced cheekbones and matching them to Jenny. And then there was Septic Tank Sam, who was revealed to be Gordon Edwin Sanderson, thanks again to genetic genealogy, as a sample of his sister's DNA was eventually used to prove that this was in fact him, though it's still unknown who killed him or why. Which leaves just this final person, the killer of at least 3 people. He, unfortunately, has never been identified, and this isn't too surprising as the features of this person just seem impossible. He just looks far too strange to be real. Right? Well, even though he hasn't been positively ID'd, it doesn't mean that he hasn't been potentially photographed. Shortly after the teens were murdered, a funeral was held in their remembrance, for which a large crowd of locals were in attendance, with this photo of the crowd being snapped. And standing there, in the center of it all, was a man whose features looked impossible. This man would never be photographed again, and his connection to the case has never been officially confirmed, leaving these murders unsolved to this very day.
Man. W Nick. Shout out to Nick Crowley. All right, that's the internet's darkest corners. Fucking part 5. Chat, what y'all think of that shit, man? I don't know, man. Some of this shit is... These are fucked, bro. These faces and shit. Yo. These fucking things about to haunt me, man. Oh, no. Oh, fuck no, man. Dude. Man... Hey, W vid. All right. Hopefully we get what? How long has it been since part 4 came out? Let's check that real quick. When did part 4 come out? Wait. The Internet Darkest Corners. Where am I? Am I blind? Oh, wait. Did I not watch? part 4? Oh, chat. Man, we got a whole bunch of these that we could like low key kind of binge a little bit here and there. We'll see.